Okay,
Go.
I'll begin. Hey everyone, this is Prakhar. I just a bit about me before we get started, so that you know who's the person behind building this. So I have about 10 years of product experience. Uh, I was a product manager at a very early stage startup. Did that for about 10 years. Now I've completely, I'm thinking of putting myself in just working on AI. So recently just started an AI studio without knowing anything about it. I'm a firm believer of learning on the job and trying to do things and, throw yourself in the pool and you figure out how to swim. So yeah, so have zero clue about coding, have never coded in my life, but being a product manager, you're very close to developers, but essentially you don't really understand the nitty-gritties. And when a dev says it will take 2-3 days to do something very, very small, you're always wondering, and you always wanted some tools at your disposal. I don't think we are there yet, but still, this really gave me an insight as to how the products are actually what it takes to get even small things done, right? So a bit about myself now, a bit about the problem that I was trying to solve. So um, when we started this cohort, I didn't have anything in mind, but then I looked around at uh, problem statements that I was facing myself. And I realized right now in the journey that I am in, there are like 4 or 5 projects that I'm working on. And I'm juggling my time between posting on something on LinkedIn regularly, which I'm not doing, by the way. But yeah, that's where I want to be. And uh, then doing some outreach. So essentially, we are like 2 people, but we want to do the complete thing, right? From building products to reaching out, do some bit of marketing, some bit of sales as well, and at the same time understand what's happening in the industry. So essentially, you have so much, and you're context switching each and every time, that things slip out from your plate very, very frequently, right? So you're not on top of things. And the tools that we have at disposal today, it's itself a big task in maintaining the tool, like the to-do list. So I thought to build something very simple where you can plan your day. At the beginning, you see what tasks you have. There'll be some recurring tasks that you have, and there'll be some new tasks, high priority tasks that you have, right? And essentially, you just need to work on 3-4 things, but you need to know. A lot of time, what also happens is there is so much cognitive load. You put everything in your RAM, right? That just the enormity of the number of tasks that you do, uh, you're somewhere stuck there, and you really don't get into doing a lot of things, right? So I wanted something where I can just push those tasks to a product, and it should be very simple. Wherever I am, I just click a button, and say what I want to do, and the task is kind of created. And later on, I can refine the task, add more details. I don't need to do that on like whenever I'm creating, and I don't need to go into the product and work with a few UI buttons to create a task. So that was essentially the genesis of the idea. And then once you have those tasks, I wanted to then uh, refine those, create like a backlog, and then pick up tasks that are important. Something that has slipped out, I was not able to work on yesterday, but is high priority, I can then easily fit in my schedule today, right? So essentially, that's around it. I hope the problem statement is clear.
Yeah.
How many of us are like kind of in the same bucket? Okay, it looks like just me.
No, task.
Any,
Definitely am in terms of task managers and managing tasks.
yeah.
Always looking for, well, actually, no. Years ago, I used to look for optimal solutions, but now I'm kind of, yeah, just deal with whatever is there and use it so I don't spend time managing my task manager.
Right. And I think it's a problem of the tools that are there. So we need something very simple. I hope you guys can see my screen.
We can.
Yeah, works.
Awesome. I just take a minute to explain the different sections that are there. And do you want to go through the walkthrough of the tool, or do you want more about understanding how I went about creating this and what?
Demo first would be great.
Yeah, okay, okay. Some of by a caveat, this is still work in progress. I was trying to push like a thing just now, just before the call, and something broke. So not a good idea to work on at the last moment. But still, there are bits and pieces which are working. So I'll just showcase that, and then when we can then dive into how I went about creating this, right? So the app, by the way, this is not a web app. This is an installable app that I have created. This is the installable app, and it works in two ways. So one is the installable app, and then there is a, a Chrome extension that I have created. I'll just tell you the reasons for doing both of these things. So this interface is very simple. This helps me. So today I can see a quick view of my calendar, see what all important meetings that I have. I can plan my day, or I have some items in the backlog that I've just added. I can keep on adding this items in the backlog, and I can click on, let's say this is how it looks. I can click on it, and there are three sections that I have. Snapshots. Again, I told you, right, that I can capture a task. So the first part is capturing the task, right? The way that I do is I have a hotkey, and as soon as I press, it's like the hotkey is Option plus space, so it'll open anywhere, right? It doesn't have to be that this app has to be open, and that is the primary reason why I had this installable app. I can take a screenshot or just write a task. So I will say demo to applied AI, right? And as soon as I do this, this gets created. Now the cool part also for this is, like, for example, I do it here, right? I can just take a screenshot of this and then say presentation for applied AI. So it will take some time. It will analyze. Okay, maybe I don't know. Let's see if. Okay, something is broken here, but otherwise it kind of adds to the thing here. One more, or we can try this route. Let me see. Capture screenshot. I will say. I think my the AI agent is kind of breaking here. I'll have to debug, but yeah, it essentially creates a task here. I should be able to. Let me show you. Let's say this is how it kind of works, right? It'll show you what all snapshots are there, And a lot of times what I wanted was that, okay, even if I have a task and I'm working on a tab, most of us work on a browser, right? uh, Rather than remembering where this was or how this is, it can directly go to that tab, right? So I can open this up, and it's opened on my other screen. I'll just pull it here. Right, so just from that particular tab itself, I can go to so this is the thing that it opened up, right? So and then you can take a note, you can add a note here, and it will also tell you the entire history of what you have done with this particular task, right? Now the important part here is that you can actually also refine this with AI. You can say, okay, this is a task. It'll do its own research, and it'll help you add more details to the task, right? In case you want to do that. And then you can say, okay, this is planned for whenever, and this should be completed in so much time. So, and you can then put in chunks like, okay, every day I want to work out 2 hours on this task till the due date. So then it knows, okay, for today, if I have to allocate this amount of time, I should not allocate the entire 6 hours that it will take me to do the task. I'll allocate only 2 hours for that particular day. So that intelligence is built in. Right. One thing I really loved was creating this UI and this entire table. So I can click, and then there are filters and yeah, all those funky things also I was able to do. So very happy. And this entire table shifts to the left if you open up a task. Yeah. So this is kind of responsive. Yeah, Bala, you have something?
No, this is quite. I actually want to use it. Actually, the only thing I'm missing is probably shortcuts.
Yeah, so I have a list of shortcuts also, but yeah, that is something that's there in the roadmap.
See, today I use linear, and the
Yeah,
problem I have is that it is too hard for me to kind of navigate, go do all of this. But this is
yeah,
lovely, man.
yeah. Thank you, thank you. And
Wow.
this is a planning agent that I created. So this is still work in progress, but you can just start. So it'll say, okay, what are my top priorities? It'll kind of tell you, pull some data. So I don't even have to go into backlog to do all of that. It's an agent where I can just plan my day, and I can schedule tasks. I can ask it, okay, these are the 3 tasks that I want to prioritize. So it'll do that. I'm still working on this bit of dragging and dropping on my calendar and setting up the calendar view. But
Does
that's
it sync with my Google Calendar or something?
yes, yes, yes. So I have added right now. I was having trouble setting up Microsoft, but I have added my calendar. So if you see here, it's pulling up my uh, calendar events for the. And since this is installable, you can add your API key and you can start working with the agent here as well. Yeah, this is mostly it.
This
Yeah.
is awesome. I mean, one comment I have is I want to connect multiple Google calendars. And so there is option.
Multiple Google Calendar. Okay, okay, yeah. Okay.
I use like 4 and
Yes. Yeah, yeah, you're right. Yeah, yeah. I should have thought about that. Yeah, but okay, sure. I wanted to connect Gmail as well so that it can send out reminders and something important, and you can do some tasks for you as well. And you can configure your working hours here as well as on the planning screen.
yeah, Varun, go ahead.
Prakhar, looks quite cool. I think it is quite a task for all of us to manage tasks. What
Yeah.
used to work really well for me, even while driving or whatever, and I've always been an Android user. I used to ask Google Assistant to set a reminder.
Right.
It was amazingly good for me always, with so many thoughts in my head. Somehow for the last few years, it's not worked.
Okay.
I don't know what the issue is. It never detects it. So something like voice,
Voice, yes.
might just be amazing.
Yeah, it is just the function of time, and I wanted to just get something out as a MVP. But yeah, voice is something that even I feel, right? So I have three options. I can type in, I can add a screenshot, or I can just tell it what needs to be done. Yes, that's sure. Thank you. Thanks. I will add that.
I think Samira has a question.
Yeah, hi, Bala. Hi, Prakhar. This is really cool. In case you haven't covered this already, could you tell us a little bit about why you decided against it being a web app?
Just so that it can, like, there are two things. One is um, voice assistant. Personally, like for me, a big challenge is going to a particular app, like a particular website, and then adding a task there, right? Instead of that, I wanted it to be very easy for people to just add task. Just press a hotkey, dictate it, whatever I want to do, and it can also run in the background. So tomorrow, like what Varun was saying, right? So there are these apps like which just run in the background, listen what you're doing, and then pick up important things, and then you can assign tasks, right? So task, I think, is something which has to be very ubiquitous. It cannot be that I have to manually do things. So that was a call that I took, that I wanted to be an installable. And yeah, and Chrome extension also, just to make sure that I know the context of the tab, and I can take the entire like I can go back to the screen that I was working on.
Yeah, sure. Thanks.
Plus, I wanted to try something very different there. Like that was also I wanted this to be a little bit challenging. So one thing that I would suggest is, if you want to build installable, uh, right now the challenge is every time you're pushing a change, it does not automatically reload. So you have to kill the process and then again run the which is not like such a big thing, but I would have, now thinking in the hindsight, I would have fixed the entire UI, everything. I would have made sure everything is working, and then should have gone towards uh, the screenshot bit. That is how I would approach an installable app now. But yeah, this is something that I started off with.
Could you take us through, by the way, super cool, by the way. Looks also very neat. Could you take us through your tech stack a little bit and sort of the tools you use, especially for your UI? I mean, it's really clean.
Yeah, so I one thing that I realized was you have to be very clear, like you have to give very clear instructions to AI, because I started off, so till 2 weeks back I was struggling to get something up, and and just with a broad idea, right? You don't know what you want to develop. If you just give AI, cut AI loose and expect it to do a lot of things, then you're not going to get anywhere. So I will just share. So I was using Cursor. I'll just share my screen on. Yeah, this is how my cursor kind of looks like. And if you notice, I have a lot of these MD files, right? And I started. So I started off in on ChatGPT or Gemini just to figure out what am I building. I spent a lot of time on nailing down my persona, the day in their lives, which was me, but I just wanted to make sure, is there something that I'm missing? And then figure out what are the key features that I want to develop. So these are 4 files that I started off with. So jobs to be done, the feature set, and I also gave it some inputs of good apps. So I went to Mobin, right, and looked at some good UI examples for something like this, and very clearly I did not know how to give it immediate output, but I kind of explained or asked ChatGPT to explain the UI, and while developing also, then I gave it screenshots like on the to the agent, right? So those are the key things that I think I did. So that was that helped later on to iterate and give a clean UI. But because otherwise, what I've realized is a lot of apps look the same because they're using the same CSS and same gradient of purple and all, right? So I was very clear that if you give, spend some time in setting up the project, it's going to reap benefits later on. Hope that answers the question.
Awesome. All right, cool. Thanks a lot, Prakhar. For somebody who said who is new to development, you've done quite an amazing job. This is so great.
Thanks. Yeah, you can sign up on threadline.com and I'm just kidding. Yeah, there's nothing like threadline.com. But
whenever it is ready, let me know. I will try it out.
Sorry?
Whenever it is ready, let me know. I'd be happy to try it out.
Yeah. Sure.